we have deep tech to turn to solve these global challenges that we just heard about. And for this next discussion, we do have the perfect moderator, because he's not just the CEO of the Baltic Sustainability Awards, but he is also a deep tech guy in his heart. He's the co-founder of the deep tech startup Terra Waste. So let's welcome on the stage Kristaps Cīrulis. Welcome, Kristaps, whichever seat is more comfortable to you. We also invite to the stage Erki Ani, who is a clean tech investor at Sunly Future Ventures, who build impactful startups and foster regional collaboration through clean tech for Baltics. Welcome, welcome. And lastly, also joining us on the stage is Kristaps Muzikants, the CEO of the energy company Ignitis Latvija, with great experience leading B2B teams and building strong client relationships. Kristaps brings passion and growth to the energy industry. Gentlemen, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. And I think that today what we will talk and explore a little bit is about more from the angle of collective actions. And I think that's kind of one of the things which we're missing in general. So let's explore and see, can we build on that and in reality start to not just talk about renewable future, but really act on this topic. And the kind of first question to each of you, I would say, is maybe you could each of you introduce yourself and give your take on the kind of topic: do collective action exist, or are we still kind of very isolated, working in each of our solutions and space when we talk about renewables?
I can maybe give it a go. Hello, my name is Erki Ani. I used to be, for 7 years, I used to work with very, very idea level startups in an incubation level and brought them European grant funding since 2016. Back then, there was essentially nothing about clean tech, not to mention about deep tech. And then, yes, everybody was working in silos. Also, the government very much emphasized on that because they didn't achieve too much. But also different ecosystem players that were in charge for developing the whole ecosystem or developing the startup ecosystem in more specific. And then during those 7 years, we established the Estonian clean tech ecosystem in terms of startups, but also in the Baltics. We launched this thing called Clean Tech for Baltics, which had a very nice side event here as well, funded by Breakthrough Energy Ventures. And now I'm wearing a hat of a venture capital fund, doing very early stage investments into Baltic startups, into electrification, but as we like to say, we're here to help reindustrialize the economies. That's actually kind of an underlying understanding of what clean tech actually is, because we are still tapping into every different sector in the economy, so different silos, and clean tech is kind of the collective action towards that.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Kristaps Muzikants, and I'm CEO of Ignitis Latvija. My background is actually also related with IT. Half of my corporate life or working life, I have been in IT. Then nobody was talking about renewables, or there was no sun, and nobody was interested in that. Then in 2017, I joined Ignitis Group, and since then we have been slowly, or I would say actually quite fast, taken the pace of going into renewables, and I would say lately we have taken quite an aggressive and brave role in the region to build 100% green energy ecosystem, which from the big corporate organization is, I think, quite a brave thing, and we have a lot of unknown in front of us, but I believe in having a good purpose, and that's why we need startups as well, and I hope for a fruitful discussion here.
Okay, so then the first question to you, Kristaps, as well. What is the kind of innovations Ignitis is taking and starting to really implement and execute in a green tech space?
Yeah. So I would say that our investments in big scale started in 2020 when we did IPO. So we attracted 500 million from investors, and in 2023 we already invested around 1 billion as a group in, and mainly 61% of that is in green generation, green flexibility solutions, and things around that. And in next 3 years, including this one, our goal is and target is to invest from 3 to 4 billion in green technologies. And as I said, mainly it's green generation, which is wind, solar, mixed solutions. And I think I would stress more even on green flexibility, which is we cannot build 100% green energy ecosystem without having these flexibility solutions, because there are moments when we don't have sun, when we don't have wind, and we need to have flexibility solutions. And by that I mean batteries, P2X, and other stuff, other different buzzwords which we have in the industry. As well, we understand that it's not just the generation part which has to change, also the consumption part has to change, and that's why we have committed to invest 115 million in Baltics in EV fast charging network, and we wanna become the biggest fast charging network in Baltics. So that's why I think this all has to come together. It's not just one technology or one specific area.
Okay, and if you look on the things you kind of integrate inside, what is the challenge you're facing?
I think there's multiple ones, and we don't have a perfect solution for batteries. We don't have it, and I think it's a fantastic cornerstone if we find one as a society. It's gonna be new internet or something more. But at the moment we haven't found, and only batteries help for short-term things. And of course we can use them, and we use them, but you can't bring sun to January, from July to January.
Yeah.
So and for that there is some mid-term solutions with sand and stuff like that. But anyway, it doesn't solve the whole problem. So I think it's at some point it's improving and things are getting better. But yeah, there's no one perfect solution. I think that's the biggest challenge, to find those puzzle pieces, how to fit them together.
Okay, Erki, you are kind of one of the one of the leading funds in this space, basically. And then the question is how you find the opportunities and where you see the opportunities if we look on the next 10 years. Is it the same in batteries, or maybe there's some wider perspective?
No, I would say it's pretty wide. I see there's a challenge to kind of find the unicorn from the forests of the Baltics, but in fact you gotta kind of helicopter around or spread around the fairy dust into those forests. That sounds weird, but it kind of is, because again, if you think about clean tech, it is about energy production, energy storage, flexibility, demand response, about consumer behavior, and so on. But all these, starting from the production side, you need materials to actually produce the productive materials or technology that produces energy. To produce this production materials that produces energy, you need sustainable sources for that. You need raw material, virgin material. That's where the innovation comes in play. So the clean tech sector is very broad, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing in a sense that it's a huge market opportunity. if you haven't invested in any local regional funds or startups yet, then look them up. Because if you're thinking about where the clean tech or where the future lies, is that there's a consumer demand, meaning that everybody needs that, Ignitis is producing 100% renewable, right? Otherwise, you cannot actually sell your produced energy or electricity to those industries that are supposed to be sustainable in the long run and create sustainable products. They need renewable energy as input. That's also one of the key points where the industries come or are being imported into our countries. So every time there's a production facility or an industry looking to locate their production facility into some countries or regions, they need to be assured that they have the supply of 100% renewable energy. Otherwise, they won't be even looking at those regions where it isn't. I'm totally lost in my thread in my head, but
so if you look on the startups you are looking into and opportunities you are looking into, what are the things or kind of matching patterns you see there, where we are as a society in Baltics, as example?
As a society, I think as a society in general, we are there where somebody says that we're more sustainable than X. We're doing it more efficiently than Y. But in fact, if you look economically, then we're still capitalists by heart and by mind. And capitalism is actually a good thing when it comes to sustainability and clean tech, right? You can think about it, if you can't scale it, you won't have any impact, right? If you have impact, you might not be able to scale it. That doesn't matter. But if you actually can scale it, if you have a very strong business model, financial plan, your margins are okay, your ROI looks good, cap table is clean-ish, then engaging with investors is key in order to open the networks into specific industries. So if you are a clean tech startup, for example, you don't go looking for investors in health tech because they don't have a clue where to guide your startup forward into the following rounds of investments. So you got to have those specialist venture capital funds that you're tapping into. And they will open the doors for you into larger investors, into Europe, most probably then there where the countries are attracting innovators. As we can see in the US, you have the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, which very much attracts growth stage companies into US so that you get more tax benefits, etc., which is okay as well. As long as you have scale, you have impact. So I think that's all that gibberish taken into one word is scalability.
Mm-hmm. And if we look on the Baltic market, which is very small, is basically kind of very small. The question is, when we go back to the kind of main topic about the collective actions and collaboration, if you look on your portfolio companies, or maybe you as a fund and other funds, do you have any successful kind of collaboration stories or any type of successes in that collective action is bringing something to the market faster?
I think it's difficult to point out any specific ones, but in general, yes. Again, maybe I'm emphasizing too much that clean tech startups are kind of a different breed or a different species, but in fact they are, because we're still providing the tools, the processes, the business models, the products, the services of the future. We demand it today, but we're developing it for the future. So they are different. And I lost my thread here again. Something's going on.
That's good. Anyway.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah. But to Kristap's question, how do you, as one of the largest companies in this sector, look into collective actions and collaborations in between companies, in between startups and you? Is there some kind of success stories where you see that we can deploy faster or we can do things faster?
That's a tough question, I would say, but two things come in my mind. One is we have created, I think, in 2018, we have created the innovation fund within the group. So basically, we give some money to that fund, and it invests in energy-related businesses and startups. The whole idea is not to earn from that those investments, but basically to be close by and to know what's happening in the market, and maybe take ideas from one to another. And actually, from there, we have already had some success stories where we have really created some business ideas and services based on these investments. That's one part. The other part I was thinking about is actually, even today, we need collective action, because when we invest in EV network, charging network, we need to find locations where vehicles are parked, and we don't have parking lots. So we go to the businesses, to parking lot owners, to retail stores, to shopping centers, to everybody who has a parking lot, and we offer them collaboration. So, and at the end, if we cooperate, we invest, we build them, actually improve the infrastructure, we build those EV chargers, and they become greener, I would say, and those EV car users come to them as a customers, and so this is also one of the ways where I see that we collaborate with them in order to make the future more sustainable.
Erki, yeah.
Yeah, I can
Remember.
I started taking notes. Getting old. I wanted to comment on your small market of the Baltics, for example. Yes, well, I mean, it's even not a market, right? So the West Europe is our market, or the US or Scandinavia for the startups that are grown locally. They need to expand globally. But the good statistics came out from Clean Tech for Europe's last year report. Clean Tech for Europe is a policy advocacy agency engaging investors from Estonia. Beamline, for example, is the founding member of the Investors Coalition there, and then is a kind of a voice line to the European Commission, right? Kind of directly suggesting what should we do, what shouldn't we do, where are we going totally off the track. Anyway, back to the report. So in the report, they assessed how many deals per country per capita. How many deals per capita are there in clean tech, in private equity and venture capital investment rounds? Can you guess the first one globally? Can you guess the first country that made most deals in venture capital and private equity in clean tech? What was it? Finland, Latvia, Estonia? No, Sweden. It was Sweden. No, sorry, I was told that. It was like euros per capita invested in clean tech. Yes, sorry about that. So Sweden, of course. Second one was Estonia. Yeah, and we even crossed the threshold of US euros per capita invested in clean tech. So we're good. We're good. It's a small market, but it's very agile, very strong. And then about the collective action. Now I'm stealing the time. Sorry about that.
Go on.
You can skip me with the next question. So about the collective action, yes, they kind of I made a brief introduction that the clean tech startups are a different breed or a different species. They are. We came to that. And why is that if you develop a clean tech solution, you're developing it because of something, because you gotta have a problem. You're developing it to somebody, because somebody else has a problem that your startup needs to tackle. And then you need the funding, of course, which kind of engages everybody. And in order to actually have a problem, you need to have a problem maker, right? Bear with me. So the problem maker in current setting could be regulation, right? because regulations are, a pain in the ass for industries, a pain in the ass for consumers and for corporates, for producers, and everybody. But everybody actually understands that, yes, we do need to lose those single-use plastic bags and single-use wrappings or plastic packages and so on. But it's annoying. You gotta go find those hemp-made stuff or whatever, those edible forks and spoons. That's actually where the innovation comes in. And if there wouldn't be regulation that is pushing all the corporates, the producers, the industries, we wouldn't have any innovation. So thank God for European Union. And that the regulation is actually pushing towards more innovation. And on the other side, the local or regional or national policymakers, they adapt those regulations, those kind of paths forward, and that creates a buzz in the local ecosystems in the clean tech. So every year you have a different theme or a topic among clean tech. You have CO2 quota startups, you have material tech startups, you have bottle collection startups or those AI startups, etc., etc. Every time a regulation comes out, gets stronger in the economies, you get this kind of a trend in the clean tech, and then the stronger ones shall survive. The rest will find their ways in other years. I'll stop now. Sorry. Yeah.
The question, follow up kind of a little bit on this, or even not on this, but on the previous one mentioned. When we talk about the renewables, when we talk about the clean tech and climate tech, we kind of saying, and everyone understand that this we are building for the future. And here I have a question to Kristaps. So you as a company as well, basically you are targeting so huge goal in general. So provide market with the 100% of renewable energy. I believe that there's a lot of challenges in between to really deploy that. What would be your solutions which you see that could help us collectively kind of accelerate deployment? And where is the gaps which still is not fixed, or maybe regulations are not there still?
I won't touch regulations at the moment. Okay. I think they are not there yet, 100% for sure, and they need to change and update. I think one challenge is in regards of innovations is that we really physically need to come up with battery, because we can think of it and collectively take each other's hand, but it won't help. So we have to come up with a real innovation in regards of batteries. And I hope that startups and we all together will come somehow, someday there, come up with something. I think what we can do is be an example and teach the society, because this is something where I see that we still, at least in Latvia, we have a big gap. We are behind the other Baltic states. We think that it's something bad, green, and a lot of people. I'm not talking about 100%. And I think we need to be, as an example, each of us, companies, individuals, take small steps, start doing something, not just look at the others and wait for something. There's this saying that we all want change, but nobody of us wants to change. So I think this is the key statement. What I would like to say here is that we all need to do something, and actually even switching to the same EV vehicle. I know a lot of people who are afraid, and they are thinking about it, but afraid that how I will charge, where I will charge, what I will do, what will happen when the battery runs out. And actually, once you do that, it's not that hard afterwards. Of course, it changes a bit the life, but these are things what we all can do. Those, like, I'm not talking only about changing the vehicle, but small things. And if we will be looking only at our neighbor and asking, okay, you go first, and then I will do, then I think that will take more time than if we will start by an example.
Yeah, Erki, your take?
Yeah, I would kind of hang on to the or grab the EV changing thing. Who has EV, an electric vehicle? Hands up. Oh yeah, that's nice. 2.
Oh.
God. Yes. Okay. 3. Whew. That saved the statistics. Should I go on with this topic? I'm one of those. I'm horrified about changing my car, but that's not. Yeah, I have too many people. Not too many people in my family, but I have many people in my family. So doing a car that actually fits 5 people in it, they're not very common among normal vehicles either. Right? You can have a truck or a Dodge Ram or whatever that maybe fit, but the EVs don't. I mean, cars are built for 4 people, like 2 parents and 2 kids, right? Or a dog and a kid, or 2 dogs. Anyway, that's definitely a place where people, come on, why don't you have an EV? My brother just bought an EV, totally out of nowhere. It maybe can ride like 100 kilometers. It was cost him like 10,000 euros or something, but still he did it. You should do it because you are showing the example to the economy with it. Right? If you're not doing it, you're saying that, yeah, we should do it. You know, right? The whole nation is tilted towards we're going to 100% renewables in our transportation. But there's like 3 people in the audience who have EVs. Don't feel bad, others. I'm not trying to, put it on your conscience or anything. Next topic. So the time for big steps, I would like to maybe kind of confront that a bit. You said it's time for everybody to start making small steps into the future. I'd say it's time for making big steps. Because we're pretty much running with the time. I know that you didn't mean it like that, but still. We are still running with time. I'm still putting stuff on people's conscience. Maybe it's too much. But we are running with time. We have our national plans that we need to be net zero by 20, I don't know, what is in Latvia? 35, 40-ish, 50?
Yep.
Something like that. It's not too much time. So if we're starting to make small steps today, we will get to 4 or 5 people owning an EV next year at Deep Tech Atelier. If we start making big steps, we'll maybe get it exponentially growth. So definitely think about that. Think about your consumption behavior, your consumerism behavior as well. We don't need stuff. We just need your life. That's getting too cheesy already. So let's take a next topic maybe.
If I may add to this, is also these small steps or big steps.
Mm-hmm.
This is also about choosing your vendor or things you consume or utilize on daily basis. Basically, you can choose between somebody who is being sustainable and producing their products sustainable way and thinking about future. Yes, in most cases might be a bit more expensive, but this is something what we all have to take in order to achieve it, because otherwise, and then we will flip around one moment when we will have enough. These it's going to become cheaper, but at the moment, yes, these unicorns who are being sustainable are more expensive.
Exactly.
Then the question.
Quickly, and maybe that's exactly where the innovation comes in play, right? You cannot have sustainable products or services or business models or processes if you don't have innovation. If you have deep tech innovation, you can re-industrialize different industry processes, manufacturing processes.
True.
I think we're in a good spot today.
Yeah, but then the question, why we don't do that? Why it's not happening? Why we collectively are not acting on this? Why we are not changing our consumption patterns? What is the reason from your point of view?
We want change, but we don't want to change by ourselves.
This is a kind of human type of issue.
Yeah, if there's nobody responsible, or it's a collective responsibility, then actually nobody feels the responsibility by themselves.
Is there a solution for that?
Tyranny?
Probably.
Keep talking, keep educating, keep bringing these topics up, and I think it is changing. Maybe it's not changing in the pace where as it should. as quickly as it should, but definitely it's different than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I know that in Europe we have taken this path from 1990, where nobody was like, what is 2050? Like, now everybody understands that it's coming, and I think it is changing. That just we could do it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing if you study for exams in the university. You know that there's an exam coming in 3 months. Everybody knows the answer when now you're going to start studying. Right? I would recommend keep investing in sustainability and hardware sustainability as well, because that's where there's a demand for capital among innovators. There's a large funding gap between hardware and software. Software, I don't know. I think AI is so much developed that we don't need too many software software startups that much, because everything can be done by AI as well. Of course, you need a human brain behind the major software players, and you need a software component in each of the hardware solutions that we're doing today. We are not developing a stupid economy, meaning that you only have production lines with people on it, putting screws and stuff, but you need digitalized manufacturing processes in the industries, and for that you need software. But hardware is what makes the wheels turn, actually. So look, I would recommend investing in sustainability.
Okay, so with that, basically, we are end of our session, and one kind of main takeaway I think is from this session is that we still need to act. All of us need to act, and maybe talk more. Maybe not only talk, but really start doing together something. And in the end, I want to, of course, invite you both as well. Maybe try to combine the power of your two companies, which are one of the leading ones, and really try to push it harder. So with that, have a great day and tomorrow's evening. And I hope that you have some takeaways from the session. And with that, thank you.